Miss Barbara Walters just died, and I've only got a few minutes here. My phone doesn't have much life left in it either. But wanted to this sparked the memory of this interview, and I had to dig for it because I didn't have it quickly available. But it's real easy to find. I'll put the link down below. You can go right to the end of it, to the last 20 seconds. This is the Mandela Effect portion of this video, and I'm just doing this because Barbara Walters dying just reminds me of this interview. And another thing it reminds me of is just how crazy it is for people to just say that there's no evidence of the Mandela Effect. So when you go on these interviews, these shows, they rehearse a little bit how the conversation's going to go. They kind of have that planned out. They definitely have the sign-off ready to go. You can bet that George Burns and Barbara had rehearsed that at the end of their interview, their long interview, they were going to do this little bit that was going to be a little play on George Burns and Gracie. At the end of every show, he would say to her, "Say goodnight, Gracie." And Gracie in that ditzy voice would say, "Goodnight, Gracie." That was the joke every show. In this reality, it never happened, but we all know it did. We remember it did. This should be all the proof that's necessary that the Mandela Effect is real, that something has changed. This world is different. So at the end of this little clip, they play it out. They discussed it. They said, at the end of the interview, you do the little "say goodnight, Barbara," and I'll say goodnight, Barbara, and it'll be just a little joke based on your show from all those years ago. Listen to it. I mean, why would they even do that if it never happened? Why would we all have the memory of it if it never happened? Why does it take more proof than that? Why does the world require more evidence? Why do the skeptics and debunkers say, "Oh, that means nothing, that's just mismemory"? I mean, what more do you need? So in honor of her dying, and this interview right here, I just thought I'd upload it. Another one that comes to mind, I need to dig it. I don't know if I can find the link for it, but it's this expert, this theologian, scholarly Bible expert that's over there in Israel, speaks like all the languages, Hebrew, Greek, Aramaic. He knows them all. He's got the Dead Sea Scrolls. He's got an original, 2,000-year-old or whatever, the scroll thing spread out under glass, high security. He reads it in the original language. What do you think he's reading? Of course, he's reading Isaiah 11:6, "The lion shall lie down with the lamb." He reads it in the original language, and then he points to it, he refers to it, he says it in English. He says, "The lion shall lie down with the lamb." Do you think that guy who's probably off the charts with his IQ, do you think that he would point that out, "The lion shall lie down with the lamb," on TV like that, if he wasn't? I mean, he's not going to do that. His scholars, his peers, his peer group would laugh him out of the profession for making such of a huge error. There's no way he would have made this kind of an error. What more proof do you need? If I can find that, I will. I can't remember if it seems to me that he read it in original language and then in English, but he might have just pointed at it and called it out in English. But this guy's got all these languages by heart. I mean, I know that here's the thing. I've just got a little, Christian University Bible degree that I was working for. I was going through college. I didn't actually finish the Greek and Hebrew, but I had those teachers that were fluent in it. When I grew up in the church, I was part of what's known as a religious fundamentalist group. So they were of the belief that every word is, they didn't go for the inspired concept thing so much. Every single word, you memorized verses word for word for word. You didn't misquote, you didn't flippantly say verses and change the wording up because you thought it sounded better. That would be heresy. These guys wouldn't do it either. I was watching these near-death experience videos. There's on Hulu something called "I Survived, Beyond and Back." It's like 2 seasons of people dying and going to heaven and having their near-death experience. There's about 30-some people, which I found real interesting. listening to their accounts. But in, and then I listened to a few more on YouTube. But in one of them, this show was quoting that, you know, the purpose of life, like why we're all here, is it's so much about doing good for others and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And it put it in there word for word on the screen. Doesn't exist though. It's not in any of the versions. Just go look for do unto. I mean, maybe some obscure version out there that we've never heard of, but all the main versions of the Bible, there's no do unto. Unto is gone. There's no untos anywhere. And I know, and most certainly it was a King James, and then you've got the religious fundamentalist KJV only. I bet you several of those, even those who were against the Mandela Effect, would go ahead and have quoted in their life, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This is the verbatim stuff that people do. They don't just take the Bible and add to it. That's expressly prohibited in the Bible. You don't take away or add to any of the verses. You memorize them. This is why kids in Sunday school are memorizing their verses. You memorize them word for word so you don't fall into the error of taking away or adding. So why are we all remembering and quoting to each other, do unto others as you would have them do unto you? Why is this guy who's an expert in the Bible in all the languages calling out the lion shall lie down with the lamb in national TV? And why is Barbara Walters and George Burns doing a little spoof on, you know, his old show, and it never happened that way? What more proof does this world need? It shouldn't. And then I can just hear the conversation. Let's say I'm trying to show all this to a friend, and they say, all right, Scott, you might have something there. What do you want me to do about it? What would you like from me? Let me tell you what I would like. I'd like you to quit rolling your eyes when I talk about it. I'd like you to quit calling me crazy. I'd like to acknowledge that there might be something to this. That's what I would like. That would be great. Just do that. Just stop laughing at me behind my back. You know, there's something real going on here. Don't act like you're intellectually superior to me because you don't believe in such nonsense. Quit doing that. That's what I would like. Anyway, had to do a quick upload. I'm outside, probably lots of wind. This video is going to suck, but whatever. We'll see you. Bye.